What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and we've already covered the test of strength for this particular event, and it's actually going away here shortly. So if you haven't beaten it, it's a great time to. If you guys want some teams other than Artemis, let me know in the comments. A couple of you guys mentioned some other teams. I haven't had a lot of success with them, but we can definitely give some of them a shot. But I want to talk about Artemis today because as this event's getting ready to leave, and I'm sure Artemis is getting ready to retire for quite a bit of time, this unit is insanely OP. Now, yes, I do know Freya's probably coming back this week. I honestly think I'm just going to go all in on Artemis one more time before she goes. I don't think that Freya, along with Hedon, is going to ever overshadow this unit. I think Artemis is really where it's at. Would I love to have Freya? Yes, but I think she's kind of a one and done when she returns. And I hate to say that because I did absolutely adore Hedon when he dropped. But this unit is so good. Now, that kind of brings me to my point today. So, for a long time now, I have had Artemis at level 90. I think she was a no-brainer to take to level 90. But the question for me has always been, since, it takes the same amount of resources to get one unit to level 100 as to get 2 units to level 90, is it better to take 2 units to level 90 or have one level 100? Now, she has become the core to a lot of my PvP games and things like that, Magic Stone Scramble, things like that. She's been absolutely stellar with. I only have her at 2 stars, though, and so I would love... if I had her maximum broken, it would be a no-brainer, right? Like, this would just not even be a question. But my question is she worth going to level 100? Well, we are going to find out for certain today. But before I do this, let's kind of set a baseline scenario here. So number one, we need to get a bit of a damage read on her. So her normal attack here is 124% with a 4-hit front-facing AoE. When HP is below 50%, increases that damage by 100%. So we need to get her HP down. Well, how do we do that? And the answer is really simple. Her special attack. Attack multiplier 900%, cooldown 3000, one-hit front-facing AoE attack grants 80% max HP as damage, 45.5% shield for 20 seconds. Of course, she gets better when she's maxed level broken. There's the stats my unit's at right now. With a 1000% endurance increase. So essentially, she will sacrifice a ton of her HP, but she's going to give herself a huge damage increase. So what we want to do is we kind of want to test that out. Now, people have ripped me up and down for not doing her skill 1 right, and some of those assessments are fair. Her skill 1's interesting, so let's read this real fast, because I really do want to get the read off of her skill 1, because her skill 1's really where it's at. So attack multiplier of 150%, cooldown 200%, one-hit front-facing AoE attack grants 15.6% decreased movement speed to enemy for 15 seconds. So anyone else on the team that gets extra damage for decreased movement is a really good partner unit for her. When HP is below 65%, increases damage by 200%. So once again, she gets a big boost in damage just for being below 65% HP, which happens a lot. Additional activation when attack multiplier... additional activation, attack multiplier of 225%, 3-hit front-facing AoE attack grants 200% critical rate increase to own unit for 8 seconds. When HP is below 65%, increases damage by another 200%. So it's, basically, turn 1, she gets that first attack. Turn 2, second time she does it, she gets that second skill. So we'll be able to essentially build up that gauge and then just get a multitude of attacks. So basically your first one does that, and then the subsequent 3 other attacks should get the additional activation. We'll try to get a read on that and see what we can determine. Now, her skill 2 is interesting, but it is kind of a mixed bag here, because attack multiplier of 325%, cooldown 800, 2 front-facing AoE attacks, grants percent recovery 20%. Now, that's the biggest issue. So if you use that too often, you will actually raise your unit above the 65 and 50% thresholds to get maximum damage. So we definitely don't want to do that. We will basically, for the duration of this test, probably for the most part, avoid using Technique 2. Also grants 26% critical rate increase to own unit for 10 seconds when HP is below 65%. So, yeah. So when HP is below 65%, increased damage by 200%. So really good skill. So let's get a good baseline read on her and see what's up. Now, in fairness, when we initially ran this, I did have Haruhime here to give us a big boost. I'm not going to use her this time around. We're just going to jump right into using Artemis and trying to get, like I said, a baseline damage number here. And I am going to base it on the crits because we're probably getting more crits than anything. But we'll compare her at level 90 versus level 100. So here we go. So I'm going to build up her gauge. Okay, we'll go ahead and do her skill 2 here. I'm going to keep her skill 1 in play, and I'm going to go ahead and drop the item here, even though that might be a bit early for that item. But the item does grant a damage increase, so... Or, well, when it breaks, it grants a damage increase. There we go. Okay, so we're going to get to her special attack. That was a big hit, and we want to avoid her skill 2, so we're going to do a skill 1 here. Boom, 240, 240, 130, 240. The numbers are kind of all over the place, but looks like 240 was the big one. So there we go, 153, 153. So we lost some of the boost from her. Now we will need to go ahead and get her HP back up. There we are. So basically spamming her skill 1, building up the skill 1 and taking advantage of that is really how you just kind of use this unit. So there we go. And then, conserve skill 2 for when you kind of need that, when you need to heal or need just like an extra damage boost. So let's go ahead and do this here. We'll spam a couple of skill 2s. That'll get us probably above the HP threshold, but that's okay. Ooh, 391s. Nice. Nice. But we are kind of at the state right now where we're just kind of getting some extra damage out. Okay, we'll get another special attack here. Boom, her HP is down. That was 1,000,000 damage, y'all. So 240. So we got some 120s and some 240s. So we're about, I would say, on average, about in the 240k range. Let's see again here. Boom. That was 480. 310. Got some big boosts out of her. Let's go ahead and do this one more time. 150s. There we go. We're probably going to get taken out here shortly just because I'm kind of being sloppy with our runs here. There we go. But the whole goal here wasn't necessarily to beat this, was literally just to get a baseline damage number for our test. 643, that was really good. Let's go ahead and build this up again and then just drop a whole bunch of these. 643. So we got some 420s, a 643. Nice. She is insane, guys. Just completely bonkers. Now, what the main question here is I want to see how much better she's at when she's at level 100. Is she actually... Did I get enough of a boost, essentially, to justify going that far with her? There we go. I could probably get a skill 2 off without worrying about... There we go. I think if I do another skill 2, we'll probably be... Look at that. Almost 600k damage there. Out of her skill 1. This unit is completely bonkers. Like, she's set a whole new bar. Like, I remember the first time we saw 100k damage, and we were like, oh, this is insane. How will we ever top this? This is the answer. Let's go ahead and do 2 of those, and she's done. So 617 with her skill 2. Just altogether a crazy, crazy unit. But we're going to go ahead and get her up to level 100, and I'll show you basically I've done no growth on her. She is, I've completely finished her ability board 1 because I thought that was kind of mandatory. There we are. Not even a record. So let's go ahead and get her up to level 100 real quick and see kind of where we stand and see if it was worth it. So let's go back out here. No, I've not done that event yet. I just honestly haven't played with it, but low priority. All right, so here's Artemis. We'll go ahead and limit break her up. So basically, in order to do this, you need 10 of those, and of course a whole bunch of those, which we almost have those. These are the big ones. You get just enough of those to do, I think, 1 level 100 a month. I have been saving them up for a while. I've got some spares, but I didn't want to, like, once again, if you do one level 100, you're basically like negating the opportunity to do 2 level 90s. But, you know, it just depends on your priorities. Here we go. That is a ton of items and a ton of Valis cost. But you know what? Oh, that took all of our items. Oh my goodness, I didn't even pay attention. We're level 99. We need some more items. Let me see if I can grind out some items real quick. All right, so there's a bunch here in the box gacha. I've been holding off on doing this for like its own separate video, but we've kind of already covered it, so I'm going to go ahead and expunge all of these real quick, and we should have enough, hopefully, by that point to get her up to level 100, if not close, I hope. So, I've expunged most of my rewards. Let this be a cautionary tale to you guys. I didn't pay attention to how many items this was going to cost to get up here, so I've got to do some major grinding to get some of these. We're going to have to go run some other events and things like that, so unfortunately, she is not going to be level 100 today. Even with I expunge all of this, like, we're going to need infinitely more, so it's going to take a bit longer, but we're level 99, so it is what it is. I've got to do just a little bit of work to get her up to level 100, but we at least have a good opportunity here to see how she's going to progress here. So let's go back into the event, and let's go ahead and fight this out. So we'll go back here. So keeping in mind, she's got a little bit left in the tank, right? She is not all the way there. Also, as just a little reminder, she is all the way in board 1 and just, I mean, a couple steps into board 2. I didn't really go much further with her. Probably should. I need to kind of get her up there. And we'll start doing board 3 on here shortly, just because I think she's going to be the first unit that actually gets all those. Haven't done anything in growth just because reasons. And she's level 99 instead of level 100. But let's go ahead and jump in and see how she performs. And we could actually do this without Haruhime, and then we could do one later on during the fight with Haruhime. Now the question is the amount of damage we get out of her worth the investment? Because the investment was way higher than even I thought. I just had to make it. I hate to admit it, but I haven't paid attention to how many resources it genuinely takes to get one unit up to level 100. That is an insane undertaking. Okay, we'll go ahead and drop Hermes here and drop her item. Her item will give her a little bit of a damage boost, but we're not worried about it right out of the gate. We just want to get her special attack out, and I will save all of her skill 1 basically until the point at which she's more or less ready to do damage here. So here we go. So there's that. And then skill 1, 300,000, 199. Not quite all the way there. Let's see. Let's try that again. So 500,000 with 255. That is crazy. 790. Oh my goodness. She is completely insane. So if you were to ask me, was it worth all of my resources to get this unit up to that point? The answer from me is going to be, yeah. Now, I do need to do her special attack here because she did heal a bit too much. There we go. Her special... Was that, what, a 1.2 million? All right, now we got to see what she does with Haruhime. We've really got to see what she does with Haruhime. Just because I feel like that Haru buff is going to make her absolutely nuts. I'll even cheat. I'll use Haru's skill 2 here. Remember, Haru's skill 2 allows her to create a little bit more damage. She did a 1.2 mil with her skill 1 attack. There we go. Now, once again, he is stunned, so he's going to take a little bit of extra damage there. I am aware of that. There we are. We'll heal up a little bit there, but we're going to drop her. That was a 3.5 million, guys. 3.5 million damage. Oh, my goodness. Am I seeing the numbers right? Did I miss a decimal point somewhere? That is insane. Oh, that's not what I want to do. That's fine. We'll go ahead and do this one more time. Buff her up. Ooh, I don't want Artemis. So we'll just keep dropping her skill 1 there. There we go. And we can just multi 700,000 out of her skill 1. Let's go ahead and do this again. Build up that skill 1. I probably should have waited for her ult to do the skill 1s, but 411, 823. The numbers here are completely... Yeah. So the question was it worth every resource I have to get her up to level 100? Because, you know, shamefully, I probably haven't, you know, done some of the grinding like I should have. The answer is undoubtedly yes. Like, completely yes. She is completely insane. So now I am just trying to finish him off. 1.4 million. And that's not even the biggest hit we've seen by a long shot. So yeah. And I want to emphasize too, that's her at Limit Break 2. That's not even her at MLB. And she gets like leaps and bounds better at MLB. So if I was to actually go through this and run it again and actually try, we could probably roast this in under... I don't want to say under a minute because that seems really conceited, but that's probably the genuine reality here. So, and I've got a bunch of these I haven't run yet. So we got more gas in the tank still. So, and that's, once again, level 99, not level 100. So I've got to go get my resources to get her up to level 100. We'll be back here shortly. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you again real soon.